Today I wanted to make a Ita bag for Otoya from Prince-sama, and I made these inserts to go in this backpack, and I think I'm gonna make inserts for everyone in Ita Bag for this backpack. I'm just gonna go in order. So we have Otoya today, and I thought while I would be doing these, I could talk about Otome. And I have some questions. I have these questions about Otome that I thought I would talk about while I do these bags. There's a lot of questions, so I'll probably split it into multiple videos just whenever I do my Ita bags. This is kind of just my general plan. I don't know if these are exactly the spots for each pin, but this is kind of how I want the layout as far as sizes and stuff. So I took a picture and I will start pinning them on now. The first question though that was on that list was, how did you get into Otome Games? It was a bit of a long story. Not really, I don't know. It was a long journey, I suppose. I started playing Otome Games literally like the moment I got my hands on like a phone. So it was a really long time ago, and I would play like the little voltage ones, like just the free chapters and stuff, and I would play some from the Shall We Date series, which was also really good. And I played those for many years, for a very long time. Just those. And then eventually I got my hands on a Vita, and on that Vita was a copy of Amnesia Memories, and I was like, oh, it's just like, you know, a new game. I had never heard about it. I had no idea what it was going into it. And then I started playing it, and I'm like, holy heck, like this is really cool. So just kind of from then on, it was purely coincidence that I found Amnesia and started playing, because I don't know, it just kind of came out of nowhere. But I'm really glad that I started playing because it's a really good game. I mean, Amnesia is really good. It's one of my favorites. It was kind of just happenstance that I stumbled upon it and stuck with it as well, because from that point I kind of realized, I was like, oh, like this is what I like doing. Like I had liked the app games a lot. I had played them for a long time, but playing Amnesia kind of was just like realizing that there was more to it than just the mobile games. So I think that was really awesome for me to kind of encounter like that. Because I remember I played Iki's route and then I kind of stopped because I kept getting his bad ending and I was a little young at the time, so that bad ending was really jarring for me. So it put me off a little bit, but I still decided to keep playing. And then eventually I went to Toma's route because like, oh, maybe this one's going to be easier. And then that one also was a lot for being young, so I don't think Amnesia is a great game to start with. I know a lot of people don't always like it, but I don't know, it got me interested in it somehow. So I still think, you know, I still owe a lot of credit to Amnesia, but I also owe a lot of credit to My Forged Wedding, which was, I think it was just the first Voltage game that I like still remember playing. So I credit those two as being my first Otome game. Oh, I guess questions 2 and 3 kind of go along with that, because question 2 is how long have you played Otome games? And I've been on and off with it, so I feel like I can't really give a super accurate answer for that. But I played Amnesia. We'll just go based off after I played Amnesia, so about 7 years since I first played Amnesia. So, and then question number 3 is what was the first Otome game you played, and that I say is Amnesia or My Forged Wedding from Voltage. Number 4 is how many Otome games have you played? And I've played a lot of them. I've played so many, but I haven't finished all of them. So the amount of games that I've finished, like completely played through every route. So Amnesia Memories, Psychedelica, The Black Butterfly, Bad Apple Wars, Collar X Malice, Ephemeral. I also finished Amnesia later. I finished Men of Yoshiwara, and then Nekopara. So I'd say about 8 of them. I finished about 8. The next question is, give us your top 5 Otome games. I do really like Udapri. I do count that as an Otome game, even though I haven't technically played the Otome game. It's only in Japanese. But it is still one of my favorite series, so I still count that. Amnesia is also one of my favorites. I can't really say in any order. I don't know what order I would put anything in. But I do love Amnesia. I also like Mr. Love's Queen's Choice. I really enjoy playing that one. I also like the Men of Yoshiwara series a lot, and I'd just say My Forged Wedding because I think that's one of the best Voltage games. I don't really know why Udapri really sticks with me. It just kind of does. I really love it. I just like Idol Boys. I like Idol Boys. I like when there's a lot of them. I like when there's a lot of different colors. So Udapri just kind of hits all my bases as for something that I enjoy. So I'm naturally kind of drawn to Udapri. I like Amnesia because I like all the characters, and I think I really like the gameplay of it. I like that you have a lot of choices, and I like that those choices do really matter and affect what kind of endings you get. and in a way it makes sense. Like, I feel like a lot of games, when I'm looking at the walkthroughs and I'm looking at the choices, I'm like, I don't know how anyone is supposed to guess these correct choices, but I think Amnesia, once you understand what the game is asking from you, it can get a bit easier. And I think it's so beautiful. I think it really struck me because it was my first kind of console Otome game where they truly have like a plot. It's not just voltage. So I just liked what Amnesia brought to me. Oh shit! His badge is broken. I never noticed that. I hope that wasn't my fault. Oops. I like Mr. Love's Queen Choice. Mr. Love Queen's Choice. Yeah, I always forget how that one is. I really like the art in that game. I think it is such a beautiful game, and I love this soundtrack as well. I think, once again, the characters are really lovable. Except for Lucien. I still like him. I still do really love him, but he's just not easy to love. Yeah, I think it's a really, like, intriguing game. I don't think the plot makes a whole lot of sense, but I do think it is still enjoyable. And I don't know what it is about Queen's Choice. It just really clicked with me. Forged Wedding, obviously, like I said, I think it is one of the best voltage games, truly, but I also just commend it for the fact that it was my first one, or at least one that really stuck with me even at the time. And the Men of Yoshiwara series, I think I just really love the kind of geisha playboy trope, and so it's literally the whole game. So I think it's really kind of a guilty pleasure for me, I suppose. Number 6 is who is your number 1 husbando in Otome Games? And I say Iki from Amnesia. I really love that he's like a playboy, but also kind of like princely type. I like playboys and I like princely types, so he really is a good representation of that. And I also think that he is a big reason as to why Amnesia drew me in, because I played his route first. I think Iki also does the playboy trope really well because he still obviously cares for the heroine, even though like he has the ability to get all these other girls. I don't like the trope of like, oh, I can get any girl that I want, but I pick you because you don't like me, you know. I don't like that. I don't like when Yang does that in Pio Fiore either. I really don't like that trope, but they both do it and I still like them both. It just feels a little annoying to me. Because then I'm like, as the player, I'm like, well, I like you, so that means that you wouldn't like me at all. So it feels a little, you know, less fun that way when they say that they only like you because you don't like them, and they can get whoever they want, but they choose you because you don't like them. Like, I feel like that's kind of a little manipulative as well. Number 7 is what types of characters, personality and looks wise, are you most likely to fall for? I said this earlier, I really like playboy types, I really like princely types, but I also tend to have a soft spot for lighter hair, like lighter colors in the hair. I like white or like gray or blonde, but I also really like red hair. I am a really big fan of red hair. I guess I also like sometimes when they have the eye patch. I do tend to go for eye patch characters or longer hair. So Pio Fiore with 2 red hairs and 2 white hair characters, and one with an eye patch and one with long hair. It was a lot. I was like, oh my, I don't know what to do. And they're all really cool, so that's fine. The only one that isn't is Nicola, and he's the one that doesn't fit anyways. Even though he has technically lighter hair, not good enough, because he sucks. I am not a Nicola fan. I'm sorry to all of those of you who are. I'm sure there's a lot. but I don't like him. You can have him. Number 8 is what are your least favorite characters? Once again, Nicola. Not a fan. I don't like him because he just tries to kill her so many times. Both within his own route and everyone else's routes. It's like, I never once throughout that entire game feel like he actually cares about the heroine. I feel like he doesn't like her at all, and it's really, really hard for me to play and be like, oh my gosh, when he just hates her. Other than that, I can't really think of anyone off the top of my head who I strongly dislike like that. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy Karasuba's route in Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly. I thought he was a really weak character. But that doesn't really mean I dislike him. I can't decide which one of these I want to use. Because I would have 4 of these on the bag, but this one doesn't have his face on it. I think I'll go with this one. I didn't really like Karasuba's route because once again, I feel like he didn't even really like her. I feel like it was very hard for me to believe that he cared about her. I don't know why this side somehow looks like it has less. But I suppose that's fine, because I'll just put this here then, and it'll balance out a bit. Okay, that's all the badges done. I'm mainly doing this so I can get more space in my storage container for these, because like literally it is so heavy I can hardly move it, and it's hardly even closing anymore. So I'm hoping that the more Ita bags I use, the more space I'll get. Gil in Cupid Parasite. I don't think it's his fault. I don't necessarily hate Gil, I just think his route was really bad, and it makes me not want to play Cupid Parasite. I think I just don't like Cupid Parasite. Once again, I don't think it's Gil's fault. I think it's just not the game for me. There's some people in Hakuoki who I'm not like super excited for, but that doesn't mean that I dislike them. Friggin' period cube, Poyo Poyo. I don't like him. I haven't played his route yet, but I don't like him so far. Yeah, other than that, I don't think I can really think of anyone I actively dislike. Who is your favorite heroine is the next question. This is how it looks like in the bag so far without any keychains on it. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to be putting keychains in to kind of fill in the gaps and stuff. I don't really think I have a favorite heroine. No one's really stuck out to me, I guess. I don't tend to like... Let me make sure this isn't a question first. Okay, yeah, it is the next question. So, my favorite heroine. I don't know. I don't tend to really like any of the heroines. I guess I like the Amnesia heroine the most because I like that her personality changes throughout the different worlds. I like the heroine in Mr. Love Queen's Choice because she feels very believable, like very relatable. I feel like I understand her thought process a lot. I know a lot of people tend to like the kind of strong, you know, like strong-willed, hard-working heroines, which I also understand. But I guess this kind of goes into the next question, which is what kind of heroines do you not like? And I don't tend to like the ones that are too, like, I don't know, I like them to feel somewhat relatable because I play Otome in a more self-insert kind of way, which I know not everyone does, so I understand that not everyone enjoys playing them like that. So I don't typically end up liking heroines who are too kind of, who have too strong of personalities, because I find that I don't end up relating to them as much. The next question is, who is your favorite not dateable character? And I really like Ishiki from Color X Malice. I think he's super awesome, and I'm really upset that he doesn't get a route because I love him. I think his design is so beautiful. I think he's so nice and caring and sweet, and I love that he's a musician. He's creative. I love him. I love Ishiki. I wish Ishiki got a route in Color X Malice Unlimited. I don't remember if Quartet Night and Heavens get routes, but I know that they at least get less, so I want more Quartet Night and Heavens routes, even though I haven't played the games. Also, I really wanted to date that one guy in Hakuoki with like the kind of maroonish hair. I don't remember his name, but I really wanted to date him, but he's not an option, and there's so many options, and they just never gave us a route for him, which is so sad. I really liked him. I wish he got a route. I wish. And so much Hakuoki content, you still don't give him a route. It's so sad. It's truly tragic. I think that's enough for the top here, but I might want to add more for the bottom because I do have a lot of things for Otoya. Oh, this is so pretty. But it doesn't work on the kind of inserts I do. Sad. Maybe? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe we can finesse it in there somehow. I have so many of this. I think that's fine. I think that's good. I think this is the finished Otoya bag. I actually really like it. I think it turned out really well. I got through a couple questions today, so I will continue going down the list in my Masato video. But I do need to get more safety pins because I used a lot of them here. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about my Otome thoughts and seeing this bag come together. See you in the next one.